Hi guys, so there is a couple of things that we are going to do in this video. So first of all, we are going to rescape our display tank, which I've said in the previous video does not really look nice. So I'm going to completely change its hardscape, and I'm going to add some plants and some riparian plants. So this is a new Monstera plant which we've got just recently, and this is its Latin name, Monstera deliciosa. It's just a regular Monstera plant. I already have a video of how to take care of your Monstera plant in your aquarium long term, but today I'm going to show you how I actually plant these riparian plants, how I introduce them to my aquariums. And obviously you can't really find Monstera that was already growing in waters and was already adapted to aquatic life. So most of the time we can only buy regular house plants like this, potted in a pot with soil. So how to actually adapt this plant to your aquarium, and this is what we're going to start with. So first of all, we need to gently remove it from the pot. Some of them have really long roots, so they get stuck in the pot, and that doesn't seem to be the case here. But nevertheless, it's always a bit of a challenge, particularly when you're doing it in your own bathroom and you don't want it to be all in soil. So the trick is not to break too many roots, because you want to have its root system more or less intact. Yes, and as I've suspected, it has really large root system which has been growing in this little pot for far too long apparently. So the next thing is to try to remove as much of the soil as you can without damaging the roots too much. It's not always easy and straightforward. For example, in this case, this is as much as I can remove without actually starting to entangle the roots and potentially damage the root. So we'll move to our next step. I fill about half a bucket of warm water. So the water should not be cold, because that will be a stress for the roots, for the plant roots. They can get stressed, and basically they can start decaying once you add it to your fish tank. So you need to have warm water, but again, your water shouldn't be hot, because that will clearly boil the roots. So the next thing we do is we put this Monstera with some soil on its roots in the water, and we shake it gently. A lot of the soil will come out as a result of this movement, not all of it. If the roots are completely entangled, like so, you will have to manually disentangle them a bit, because otherwise you won't be able to remove all the soil that's stuck in between the roots. But you have to be really gentle, because Monstera roots, just like the roots of many other plants, are really fragile, so it's really easy to break them, and it definitely requires quite a lot of effort. It's quite important to remove as much soil as you can, because most of the plant growers use fertilizers in their pots Some of them use quite a lot of fertilizers, and you don't want all these fertilizers to end up in your fish tank, which can kill your fish or which can harm them. In this case, I think these white things in here are fertilizers actually, so I have to be really careful in washing out all of this stuff. All this white stuff in the bucket on top of the water is likely to be fertilizer. So we've got 3 plants here, 1 larger plant and 2 smaller plants. That's often the case when you buy a potted Monstera or some other house plant. You can split them into individual plants, and that's how it is now. So that's great, and this is more or less clean now. We have removed most of the soil, well, 98% of the soil. There's still something left in here, but I've washed it so many times that I don't think that there's any fertilizer left on the roots. We did lose some roots in the process, which is quite unavoidable most of the time, but most of the root system is here and should be enough for this plant to restart its life in an aquarium. So we're finally ready to add this Monstera to our aquarium, and I want it to be somewhere here. Well, some people use all sort of metal holders to attach it in place, but I don't want to have any extra metal in my fish tank, so I prefer to use these roots. These are extra roots that Monstera uses to attach itself to soil more firmly, so I prefer to use these roots in order to attach Monstera to the fish tank. They don't need to be these extra roots, they don't necessarily need to be in water, because this is just something extra. And it might hold like this, it might grow like this. You don't necessarily have to submerge all the roots in water. Some of them can come out because very often in nature Monstera grows with some of their roots protruding outside and some of its roots in water, so it can be a mixture of both. Of course, this plant will be now in shock and in stress, and it will take this Monstera probably a month or maybe longer to get adapted to this aquatic life and to start growing. There's of course always a chance that it's not going to start growing and it will start decaying, so we have to keep an eye on it while it's in there. So rescaping is finished, and just to give you some idea as to what do we have here. On top we have here some Anubias plants and Christmas moss. We also have here Monstera, lucky bamboo and pothos plants. Pothos plants have been here for quite a while. We added more of them because the previous ones have started growing, so it's a good sign, and the rest of them should be growing as well. And yeah, so that's how it is for now, and I think it looks better than it used to be before, but yeah, I hope that's what it is for now. So I hope you like this video. Leave your comments in the comment section, and I will see you soon, probably in the new year, with more videos.